Hi, I'm Majo again Sunday, and concerning the question regarding building a table for a client. So, first thing first, I'm going to ensure that my table is reusable, and of course, it's going to have the featuring, it's going to have the sorting, and it's going to have the pagination. This is also very key to ensure seamless intuitiveness for the user. And with that said, it means that I'm also going to develop the table to be reusable. And for me to make my table reusable, it means that it has to be prop driven. And that will fit in so well. And so it means that I'm also going to develop my table to be in components, basically sub-component functions, where I will have to have certain features that can cut across the entire app for easy customization. So, which can accept props, and based on the props it accepts, it should be able to do what is expected to do, you know. And of course, I'm definitely going to do what we call table optimization. By table optimization, I basically mean I'm going to do visualization for a very large data set by using the window object that is already created available for us, and I'll use memorization. We could do memorization in two forms. We could use the use memo for functions, and we could um, use the react.memo. The react.memo basically is used for component wise, while the use memo slash use callback could be used for function. This helps for a great memorization, and this is very very key for design table. And one more last thing that I will talk about for intuitiveness is that I should be able to define a clear headers, and I should be able to use cue visuals like the chevrons, left and right arrows keys, so the user can easily make use of navigation keys and all of that in between. So this is key. So let's move over to the second question, which is all about what again? Which is about performance optimization, of course. So one of the apps I developed, which basically had a very poor runtime, so to say, and poor load time, was too large image trying to load. At the same time, you're trying to also load data. So the need for lazy loading became very important, which I used. But for other apps which I've also developed, I basically worked on Nest.js, which the lazy loading actually come out of the box by the use of Nest image object or library, so to say. And so with using Nest.js, we have this out of the box optimization of images. But if I'm developing vanilla JavaScript, then I have to, of course, invoke the lazy loading. And so that is very, very key when dealing with that. So one way I optimize my system is the use of centralized stores for Redux, especially for a very large apps. And for this table course we're talking about, since we may want cause and effect to be instantaneous, then the need for Redux might be very important. But if it's just a small app, I could try to use Contest API or reducers, right? And so this is also performance matrix that I consider. Then some of the key the tools that I use the React Dev tool, which you can actually install as a plugin. Then we can use the Chrome performance tab. In there we have the Lighthouse, and all of these help in determining a component that is perhaps re-rendering more than expected, and all of these can actually affect the performance of the app. And of course, we must be able to use the React queries that basically helps to manage some of these problems that we just talked about. So with all of these, I was able to achieve about 60% fewer re-render, and so that was a really remarkable goal or step milestone that was achieved by me. And then the last one that talked about APIs and error handling. So for multi-step form, of course, what do we do in going forward is we should be able to persist each of the stages of the multiple form in our local storage, right? So that at the end of the entirety, when the client is done filling the entirety, then we cannot send the entire message. So the key thing is that persist each state in the local storage. Then at the end of it, then we send the entire payload. And of course, as a good practice, we should be able to use the try catch block. So in the try, we send, and if there is error, the catch block catches it. So if there is error, while we also try, right, what happens? I should be able to provide feedback. So that is what I do. I provide feedback, a friendly feedback, and I give options for the client to be able to retry or perhaps save, right? So these are good practice, right? So one other thing I do, especially for these performance issues again, is that we should be able to for data integrity, right? So I should be able to validate the input. Not all inputs could be a friendly input. Some could be somebody trying to hack into the system, and so we do input validation, very important. So this helps for data integrity, so that whatever I know I'm sending to the back end are data that are real, data that are not having maybe some malicious activities in it. And so these are how I handle creation of front-end apps, and for the use case which is about table, and this is exactly what I'll be doing.